This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, welcome everyone. We continue with Berura Yomi. We're up to Siman Taf Lamed, which is one of these simanim that doesn't even have a kaisaras, it doesn't even have a heading. It's about the halachas of Shabbos Haggadol. Shabbos Shlefnei Pesach Karnoiser Shabbos Haggadol. The Shabbos before Pesach is called the Great Shabbos, and Hanes Shanasabai, because of the miracle that occurred on it. Haggah, v'haminag loymar b'mincha ha'Haggadah. The custom is to say, to recite by mincha the Haggadah, mitchilas avanu mayinu, ad lechaper al kol v'neisenu, and do poiskim loymar baruch nafshi. We stop saying baruch nafshi Shabbos Haggadol. This is known that the Ramah subscribed to the custom of reciting Baruch Nafshi during the winter months. Okay. It says the Mishna, it's called Shabbos because of the miracle of Shabbos Mitzrayim, because the year they left Egypt, Hayasara b'Nisan b'Yom Shabbos, the 10th of Nisan was Shabbos. And each Jew took a sheep for his Pesach, v'kashru b'kari hamita, and they tied it to the bedposts. K'maisha Kosov, ve'asar l'chodesh hazeh, on the 10th of this month, each person should take a sheep for his household. V'hamitzrim roza, the Egyptians saw this, usha'alam, and they asked, Lama zalachem, why are you doing this? V'heshivu, and they responded, l'shachtoi l'shem Pesach, to shecht for the Karm Pesach, b'mitzvah Hashem aleinu, by the command of God. V'hayu shineim keos, and the teeth of the Egyptian, they were gnashing their teeth, al sheshachtin es alayhem, that they were slaughtering their gods, and they had no permission to say anything. Now, the question is, why would we commemorate the day of the week? We should commemorate the day of the month. Since then, the 10th of the month was Shabbos. Therefore, the Shabbos before Pesach is always called Shabbos Haggadol. So they're interesting perushim, because this is like one of the only dates in Judaism that we celebrate the day of the week and not the day of the month. So some Noisei Kalim say that we know they crossed the Yarden on the 10th of Nisan. So if we would have celebrated the 10th of Nisan, people may have mistakenly thought it was because of the subsequent crossing of the Yarden. Or the 10th of Nisan is the yard site of Miriam. So out of respect for Miriam, we pushed it to the Shabbos. Now we recite the Haggadah by Mincha, Lefi Shahoisa by Haschalas Hagu'ula, that was the beginning of the redemption and the miracles. Even if Shabbos Shabbos Haggadol falls out of Pesach, then and then the Shabbos Haggadol Josh is the week before, but the Haggadah you still say that Shabbos. The Bir Allah brings down the Gra. The Gra said don't say the Haggadah on Shabbos Haggadol, because the Haggadah says Yachal Mi ba'id yom. You're only allowed to say the Haggadah in the night of the 15th. Okay, Siman Taf Lamed Aleph. Zman b'dikas hachametz. The time to check for chametz. Says the Mechaber b'tchilas al-arba asar b'Nisan, in the beginning of the night of the 14th of Nisan, boidkin es hachametz. We search for chametz la'ar haner, by the candlelight, b'choyrin, in the holes of the stocking and in the cracks, b'chal ha'makoymais, in all the places, shadarach lahachnas sham chametz, that it is typical to bring chametz there. Says the Mishna Berura b'tchilas leil. What does that mean in the beginning of the night? Perish take of achar yitzias hakochavim, right after the stars come out. This is also a very interesting line in the Mishnah Berura. Why right after the stars come out? Sheyesh adayin ktsas me'or hayom. You still have a little bit from the light of the day. Roy lahaskal livdok. It is fitting to begin to check. Kedei shelo yisrashal, so that you don't slacken off, or you don't forget. But what exactly he means that there's still a little bit of the light of the day, this we're talking about Seisek HaChavim, it's 15 minutes after Shkia, there ain't no light. Okay, Boidkin. V'gam tzarch levatel azas hachametz. You do bedika the night of the 14th, and you also have to do bittul. Ukil kaman v'simen taf lamed dalet tzipes. Now, says the Mishnah Berura, the truth is, you should really only have to do either bedika and biur, or bittul, one or the other, bittul or biur. Uminat tar be'echad behem sagi. Really, midaraisa, either bittul or biur should work. Because when you nullify it in your heart and you render it hefker, it's not yours. You're not over on it. And certainly, when you search, and you investigate, you Hamechapes for it, umevarei min ha'olam. Meaning you should only have to do one. If you're mevatel it, you're not over. Certainly if you burn it, you're not over. Ela shechazal hechmiru, but Chazal were machmer. D'loi sagi be'echad mehem. That's not enough for what? To do one of these procedures. Ela b'shneim dafki, you have to do both. Why? Because Chazal were worried. And since the process of nullification is dependent on a person's mindset, maybe it will be difficult in a person's eyes that he has so much value of chametz to be mafker. In other words, if you're going to rely just on hefker, it might bother somebody. He has to mafker something so valuable. Even though he's orally enunciating that it's bato, v'hefker v'chashiv ka'afra, and it's ownerless and considered like the dust. That's not what he's thinking. He's not going to be mevatel wholeheartedly. And he's going to be over bal yirash areloi hoitzimi besa because he didn't take it out from his house. He was mavatel it, but it's not a wholehearted bittul. So then just burn it. And okay, so and another reason. And we're also afraid, even if you're mavatel it, but since you partake of it the whole year, and beveisai or shusai, if it's going to be in your house and your domain, gazrin and shishkach v'yavelech, we're afraid you're going to forget and come to eat it. Therefore Chazal enacted sha'afa pisha mavatel loisagi, that even though you're mavatel, that's not enough. Elatzarch livdoik, you need to search levarei min olam. So now the question is, so just burn it. You have to mavatel also. You might not search well. And you're going to find chametz on Pesach. So therefore you need to be mavatel in case you didn't do a good job searching to burn. Now you have to search for la'ar haner. Why? You need to search the holes and the cracks. And daylight doesn't help for the holes and the cracks. And since it needs to be by the candlelight, they enacted it at night. Why? Because the light of a candle penetrates in the night more than the day. Because then the light penetrates more than the day, even in a dark place. It's also a time that people are found in their houses. In other words, why is b'dikas chametz at night? Two reasons. Number one, you have to search by the candle. Why? Why do you have to search by the candle? Because you have to search the crevices, and the candle doesn't work as well during the day, and also at night people are home. Where do you have to search? In any place that it's the derech to bring chametz. Lav dafka does not do the derech. Av she'ein derech lahachnas sham chametz. Rak b'makim sham shtamshim sham lefrakim chametz. Anywhere that you occasionally bring chametz, you need to search, because cheshinan sham hechnas sham chametz. Maybe you brought chametz there. V'lav adaitei. Look, if people could put their car keys in the refrigerator, you could definitely put a bagel in your desk drawer. You know, people just randomly place things. Okay, let us begin one more halacha. Yizoher kal adam. Everyone should be careful. Shlo yaschel b'shum halacha, not to begin any activity. V'lo yoichal ad sheyivdaik, and not to eat until he does bedika. Says the Mishna Berura, Yaschel b'shem malacha, v'afilu chatzi shashu kaidem azman, even a half hour before the zman aser, you're not allowed to do malacha. Duma aser l'mshuche, it might become protracted. V'hu adin da aser lichnes l'merchas, you're not to enter the bathhouse. V'chad dvarmen esgam l'alba siman reish lamed beis, or anything mentioned earlier in siman reish lamed beis. Umisha shachach livdoik b'layla, anyone who forgot to check at night, so now you're going to have to check during the day. You're not allowed to do any of these activities until you check during the day. You shouldn't eat. What about tasting? You could take a sip. Taste. What's a taste? Bread less than a kabeya. Or fruit. A lot of fruit is still considered to imach. The peiros harbe iner mutar b'chatzi shesh kadam abdika. A lot of fruits are only mutar in the half hour before the b'dika. Ava mishigias man abdika gama ide peiros einach and lishes harbe. Don't start having a fruit party once the zman comes. You want to have a piece, that's okay, but don't have a lot of fruits once the zman comes. Okay, we'll continue here next time.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.